My beloved child, there is not much time left, my dear. What you thought had passed is quietly returning, bearing consequences you are not yet prepared to face. This is no longer the time for delay or hiding. The door of grace remains ajar, but it will not wait forever. If you do not turn back now, the darkness will become your guide. Do you not see the things falling apart around you, the silent dissolving of relationships, the hollow stillness hidden beneath laughter, the sleepless nights when your heart speaks in silence? These are all signs, not of punishment, but of invitation. I am shaking the world around you to awaken the soul that has fallen asleep. I have knocked not once but many times through the storms, through the tears, and even through the most terrifying silence. But you have been silent for too long, my child. It is time for you to face the truth. Every step you choose today paves the path ahead. You can walk into the light where truth and compassion blossom from sorrow, or you can continue to turn away, building a prison of unresolved regret. I did not create hell to imprison you. It is your own stubbornness that locks you inside. Do not wait until your heart is hardened and the light can no longer reach. I have placed a small flame within your soul, and if you exhale even one whisper of, "I want to return," it will blaze to life again. You now stand at the edge, on one side the abyss of inner ruin, on the other the gentle light of mercy. I do not force you, I simply extend my hand. But if you do not take it, that hand will quietly withdraw. Light cannot enter a room whose door you refuse to open. Your soul is gasping, waiting for you to save it with a single act of courage to step out of the shadows and call my name. My beloved, I know there were moments you felt, weak moments when you chose wrongly, even though your conscience trembled within you. But I am not surprised, and I do not condemn. Do you not know no one in this world is without flaw? Even the saints who walked in light once fell to their knees, weeping before me, begging for a new beginning. The true beauty of a soul lies not in its perfection, but in its courage to rise after every fall. Do not punish yourself just because you were wrong. Sin is not the end, it is the start of a more humble, deeper journey. I do not seek you out to list your faults, nor to inscribe judgment. I come to remind you, even when you feel at your filthiest to me, you are still the little child I love. I do not love you because you are worthy. I love you because you are mine. That love does not change when you fall. It only aches when you no longer believe you can be healed. I have seen countless souls in despair sitting among ashes, believing they are beyond repair. Yet I touch them through a morning sunbeam, a single tear, a verse of scripture at the perfect moment, and they rise again. You too can rise. You don't need to be perfect to begin, you only need to begin in order to grow into something whole. Every crack within you can become the space through which my light enters. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Each soul travels its own path. Some must pass through great darkness to truly grasp the worth of light, and often those who once wandered far become the beacons for others, still lost in the night. If you have failed before then, you have the power to warn others not to fall the same way. Do not be ashamed of the road you have taken, as long as from now on you choose to walk in truth. I do not wish for you to live forever in self-condemnation. I want you to lift your head and look into my eyes. There is no gaze I treasure more than that of a child who is weeping, yet turning back home. I am standing here and I have never left. Your past has not ruined you. It only reminds you that you are human, and humans need shaping, need love, need forgiveness. My beloved child, have you ever wondered why small, simple things can weigh so heavily on your heart? Why a sudden flash of lightning, an unexpected rainfall, or someone's quiet sigh nearby can make you pause and reflect? These things are not coincidences, dear one. I send those signals not to confuse you, but to call you to stillness, to pause amid the rush of life, and listen to the deepest stirrings of your own heart. I shake the world around you not out of anger, but to awaken your sleeping soul. Sometimes I do not speak in words, I speak in silence. I do not shout, I whisper through every detail in your day. The moments you stumble, the people who suddenly leave, the things that do not go your way, all of them are a kind of language. If you would listen with your heart, you would understand I am trying to say something very important. You often ask, Why is this happening to me? But I ask you in return, what is this trying to say to you? Every event, whether gentle or painful, carries a message. When I take something away, it is to return to you something more precious. When one door closes, it is because I know there is nothing behind it meant for you. Do not see only the loss, see the protection. Do not focus only on the breaking, see the love with which I am wrapping your lessons. My beloved child, have you ever let your heart be still long enough to hear the whisper of the wind rustling through the trees or the gentle patter of rain on the roof? I did not create these things merely to adorn the world. They are my messages to you, spoken every day. When your soul is restless, when your heart feels parched, look up to the sky, step out into nature, for it is there that I whisper to you. A sudden breeze, a crimson sunset, or a flash of lightning in the midst of a storm, none of these are by chance. My child, I use both the beauty and the tremors of this world to awaken your sleeping soul. You often think that loss and hardship come upon you randomly, cruelly. But no, my dear one. The things that break you, the moments you see as blows, are actually my gentle knocks on the door of your spirit. It is when I want you to slow down, look inward, and ask, what is he calling me to? Sometimes only when your heart is shattered do you become open enough to receive something new. And that newness, it's a life more truthful, more meaningful. I do not shake the world to display my power. I stir it to awaken your heart. Because I see you living as if dead, your soul weary, your heart weighed with doubt, your eyes no longer seeking the sacred. You think you're fine, yet you drift further from the source of life. And because I love you, I must wake you, not with a loud scream, but with a silence deep enough for you to notice the emptiness inside. Think back to the days you felt lost among people, or the nights you couldn't sleep because your heart was heavy. Those moments were not meant to torment you, they were meant to bring you to a stop, to look deeply within. I want you to return not with a face full of masks, but with a soul that is honest, wounded, and ready to be healed. Every shake is a calling. Wake up, my child. Live truly. You often blame life for being too harsh, but you don't know that I allow nothing without a loving purpose. I do not sow suffering, but if it arrives, I use it to open a door within you that you would have never approached otherwise. Have you noticed? After each wound, you become gentler, more attentive, more compassionate toward others. That is because your soul is softening, allowing love to flow through. Without trials, you might believe you can live without me. Without lonely days, you wouldn't recognize the value of a sincere embrace. And without stumbling, you'd never understand that true compassion is not pity, but a complete, patient, tender gaze upon all that is still unfinished. Every event, joyful or sorrowful, draws you closer to the light and to the truth. I use both light and shadow to teach you one lesson. Only love makes all things whole. And my child, when your heart has awakened, when you begin to hear my voice echoing through the signs of life, remember this: no darkness is too thick for my light to reach you. Even if you believe you've fallen to the bottom, even if your soul feels drenched in despair, I still can and always will shine my light into that place. Don't believe the voice that says, it's too late. It is never too late for me to save you. I have walked among souls drenched in sin, have reached into the depths where others turned away. Not because they were worthy, but because I saw in the ashes a single spark still glowing, and I knew one spark is enough to rekindle a flame. You too. Even when you feel broken, I still see in you a longing for life. Do not fear the dark, for it is there that my light shines clearest. Do you know how long I've waited for you? From the very moment you took the wrong turn, I slowed. My steps not to leave you behind, but to remain close enough so that when you chose to return, I would still be here. My love is not a fire that flares briefly and dies, but a lamp that burns patiently through the long night, waiting for you to see and come home. I have never and will never give up on any soul, not even the most rebellious or lost. I am the Father who keeps the door open each night, who leaves a light on, who sets aside bread on the table, just in case the lost child returns. Whether you come back carrying dust, sin, or shame, I will still run to meet you, hold you close, and ask nothing first. Not because I am blind, but because I love, truly love. This love does not require you to prove anything. It only needs you to have the courage to turn and call my name. But my dear, forgiveness is not only something I give, it is something you must accept to be truly free. I can open the door, but you must step through it. Forgiveness doesn't mean erasing the past, it means laying down the weight it placed upon your shoulders. When you forgive yourself, you will feel the release, as if chains have been removed. Then you are no longer a victim of past mistakes, but one reborn from the ashes. I see the pain within you, the fear that you are not worthy of love, not worthy of forgiveness, not worthy of a new beginning. But I ask you this, if I, the one who created all things, do not despise you, why do you imprison yourself? Open your heart, my child. Receive forgiveness like a thirsty soul welcomes the first rain. Forgiveness is the first step to feeling love again. True love without judgment, without condition, without abandonment. My beloved child, with every passing moment you stand at a crossroads. One path leads you deeper into the dark, the other guides you toward the light of truth and compassion. You may not realize it, but every thought, every choice, every small action is shaping the future of your soul. I do not impose, nor do I control, for I love you enough to let you choose your way. But because of that, you must know you hold in your hands the key to open heaven or to shut it. Many souls are lost, not because they are too sinful, but because they've hidden and delayed too long. They hesitated until their hearts grew cold and the light no longer reached them. Do not be like them. Choose, even with your last ounce of strength, choose to lean toward the light. You don't have to go far in one day. You only need to turn in the right direction. And when you do, all of heaven will rejoice, for a soul has chosen to live truly. Do you know what sets you apart from all other creatures in this world? It is this: you were given freedom. I could create the seas, the skies, the stars, but I cannot force your heart to love me if you do not wish it. That is the one thing I kept sacred for you, the power to choose. That gift is so precious, even I do not violate it, and so it becomes a double-edged sword. You will use it either to return or to drift further away. When you choose goodness in the face of temptation, when you choose forgiveness amid pain, when you choose honesty in a world of deceit, that is when you are living in the divine dignity I placed within you. You do not need to be the strongest or the wisest, but be the one courageous enough to choose what is right even when it wounds you. True freedom is not doing whatever you want, but being awake enough to know what is worth living for and what should be let go. I believe you can do this, for I planted that seed of goodness deep within your soul from the beginning. My beloved, do not wait for tomorrow. Do not say, when I'm ready, when I'm better, when my life is in order, because you don't know how many more chances you'll have to say, I return. Today, this very moment, is the most precious gift you've been given. Every breath is an opportunity to begin again, to be made new, to become your truest self. I do not ask for perfection, I only ask for a heart that longs for the light. If you are hearing these words, it is not by chance. This is the final call, gentle but urgent. The door is still open, but it will not remain open forever. Step through while you can. Do not let delay quietly kill your soul. One choice today can change your whole life, not just this life, but your eternal one. I am here waiting for your hand if only you would reach out. My beloved child, I do not soothe you with promises that the path back will be easy. On the contrary, it may be a road lined with tears, inner turmoil, and moments when you feel completely worn out. But it is precisely because it is not easy that it leads to where it's truly worth going, a place where you will find real peace. Do not expect gentleness to arrive instantly. Let deep peace grow slowly from each honest choice you make, each time you choose to take another step, even if it's a small, hesitant one. You may lose some things along the way, relationships that no longer serve you, habits that once felt safe, or illusions about yourself that you've clung to. But my dear, to make room for light, you must first clear away the shadows, and I will not let you walk alone. I walk each step with you, in the silence, in the tears, in those early mornings when you can't bring yourself to get out of bed. Believe this, the only difficult path worth walking is the one that leads you back to your true self. Have you noticed that it is in your weakest moments that you realize how deeply you need me? When everything around you collapses, you will find me, not hidden, not distant, but right beside you, waiting for your quiet cry for help. Don't fear the moments you fall. They don't prove you are weak, but that you are real. And you'll be surprised, true strength begins the moment you humbly admit you can't stand on your own. In the moment you release control and dare to lean on me, the hidden strength within your soul will awaken. It's not a loud power, but a steady one, like roots anchored deep in the earth, keeping you grounded through every storm. You don't need to always be strong. You only need to refuse to abandon the journey you've begun, because I, the one who loves you, have never and will never abandon you. My dear, I do not ask you to be entirely free of fear. Fear is natural, but what is more precious is the courage to keep going, even while your heart trembles. I see every time you hold your breath and step outside your comfort zone, every time you speak the truth, though your throat tightens every time you choose what is right, even when your heart isn't sure. These moments to me are more beautiful than any glorious victory, because they show you're learning how to live truthfully and dare to believe. Courage is not always a resounding shout. Sometimes it's just a whisper, "I'll try again." And when you say that, no matter how quietly I hear it more clearly than all rehearsed prayers, because I know that true bravery lives in action, not only in thought. And each small step you take on this rocky path is writing a resurrection story that no one can take from you. My beloved, since the beginning, when the first light burst forth from the void and life was breathed into dust, I envisioned you as a distinct note in the endless symphony of the universe. Every star, every gust of wind, every rhythm of nature's breath does not exist by chance. I wove them together with infinite wisdom and tenderness. And when I created you, I did not merely breathe life into your form. I planted within it a promise that no matter how far you wander, how stained you become, there will always be a way home. Have you ever wondered why, even in your exhaustion, brokenness, and mistakes, your heart still clings to the longing to be loved, to live authentically, and to be free? That is no fleeting instinct, but the deep echo of that promise. A promise I wrote upon your soul when it was still a fragile mist not yet called by name. And now, as you stand at the edge of an unshaped future, I remind you again, not through thunder, but through the gentleness of love. The world you live in may feel upside down. What you once believed in may have crumbled. Those who once walked beside you may have turned away. Your soul, once a home full of light, may now feel like ash and cold wind. But don't be mistaken, this is not the end. This is the soil being turned to prepare for a new season of planting. Every breaking holds a hidden chance to begin again, not from where you fell, but from where you've come to understand the value of rising. Don't let the past chain you like shackles. I know there are things you wish to forget, mistakes that when remembered make your heart tighten, as if entering a frozen room. But my child, you don't need to erase them. You only need to face them with eyes that have learned to love and say, "I was wrong, but I will not end there." The very place where you once collapsed may also be the place where you rise, stronger, truer, more human. You now stand at a difficult crossroads. One path leads to turning back. It may feel comfortable and familiar, but ultimately it takes you back to the same muddy pit where your soul keeps sleeping behind its mask. The other path leads toward light, not a blinding, glorious light, but a steady, quiet one, like a candle that refuses to go out in the wind. And you know what? No matter which path you choose, I will be there. Only on one side I can hold you close, on the other I can only watch as you lose yourself. I did not create you to remain lost in the dark. I made you to know love, to forgive, to rebuild from ruins, not just for yourself, but for those you meet along the way. What you've gone through, the losses, the betrayals, the pain, they are not your definition. They are the raw materials I used to shape you into a soul with depth, with compassion. Look back, you were never truly alone. In the nights you cried silently, thinking no one noticed I was there. I saw your hand clench the blanket like it was your lifeline. I felt your heart race with fear. I heard every sigh your soul whispered, though your lips said nothing. You thought I was far, but in those weakest moments I was the closest. For I am not only the God of the strong, I am the refuge for the weary. Now you have something not everyone still holds a chance. a chance to return, to begin again, to walk a journey that may be imperfect but truly worth living. Don't wait any longer. Don't let your heart grow numb from accumulated pain or your soul silently die from lost hope. The door is still open, not because I am lenient but because I long for you. But this door will not always remain. It waits for you, but it does not wait forever. If you feel you've lost everything, that is when you can begin again in the purest way. Because when there is nothing left to hold on to, you are truly free. When everything collapses, what remains is you, unmasked, unembellished. And in that place I will come, not to fix you instantly, but to sit with you, to listen, to heal, piece by piece. I do not need you to come to me perfect. I only need you to come while you still thirst. You may think love is a feeling, but true love is action. It is when I choose to stay even after you've turned away too many times. It is when I keep calling your name even when you won't answer. It is when I place a small fire in your soul, burning quietly through the years, waiting only for one breath of repentance to reignite it. I do not give up on you, for you are a part of me, made from love and only healed by love. Start with one small step, one whisper, one admission, one kind act toward yourself. Don't think it's too small to matter, for in my kingdom even the smallest mustard seed can grow into the greatest tree. Change does not come through thunder. It comes through one brave heartbeat, and you, no matter how long you've been lost, can come home even now through that very honesty. Don't forget, my love, I have seen life in you even when you only saw ashes. I saw light in your eyes even when they were clouded with tears. And I still call your name, not with threat but with a tender invitation. Come back to me. Step into the light. Live a life no longer in hiding. The future is yet unwritten, but it will be shaped by your choice today. And if you choose to walk toward me, you will not walk alone. For from now until forever, I will walk beside you. Each step, each breath, each season of rain and sun. My beloved child, perhaps now deep within your soul, your heart is beginning to soften after years of carrying the weight of weariness, disappointment, and the mistakes you've never forgiven yourself for. Maybe part of you still hesitates, afraid that you're not worthy of starting again, afraid that what has happened has left marks too deep to heal. But I say this to you, it is in your lowest moments that you are closest to me. Not because you are weak, but because it is there in the falling that your pride lets go, your resistance quiets, and your heart begins to learn how to open. Every tear you shed, every time you feel wounded, is not a sign of loss. It is proof that your heart is still alive, still capable of pain, of remembering, of longing for something more beautiful. You may think you've strayed too far, but I see differently. From where I stand, I see you standing on the threshold of a miracle, and if you dare to take just one small step out of the darkness, the light will do the rest. When everything in your life starts to shake, when the things you once thought were solid begin to feel uncertain, do not be afraid. Remember that before spring arrives, the earth must pass through a bitter winter. Before new life breaks through the soil, there must be a storm, a wild wind that scatters everything. What you see breaking around you, broken relationships, old habits that no longer bring you joy, emotions you cannot name, these are not endings, they are beginnings. A silent cleansing so you may become lighter, purer, and more real. I do not stir your world to frighten you. The knocks on your heart, through a shifting wind, a flash in the night sky, or an unexpected brilliance breaking through gray clouds, are signals, my whispers. I do not come to destroy your life, but to clear away what no longer belongs to you, so that I may place into your hands something new, not just what you temporarily want, but what your soul truly needs. You have lived long enough among things that aren't real, among laughter that brings no joy, in conversations where your heart still feels alone. You've tried to find meaning in work and success in fleeting relationships, but haven't you still felt the lack? Still felt like you're running endlessly without knowing what you're looking for? I know that ache because you are searching. For me, even if you don't call me by name, I am the place your soul remembers. And I am not angry that you have forgotten me for so long. I only grieve when I see you trade deep peace for temporary pleasure. But now, as you begin to feel emptiness even amid so-called abundance, this is the moment you are truly ready for what is real. And what is real begins within you. with a quiet yes, a decision to return a small but sincere courage. My dear one, life will not pause and wait for you to understand everything before it allows you to change. No, it moves even in your confusion. And right in the midst of that fog, I will make your path clear if you are willing to open the eyes of faith. Sometimes you will have to walk through the mist, taking steps without seeing the road ahead. But know this, I go before you. I walk beside you. I follow behind you. I do not promise that the new journey will be smooth, but I promise it will be worth it. You may lose people who do not understand your path. You may have to let go of things you once thought were part of you, but you will find yourself again, the true self I created, brave, gentle, loving, and filled with light. And above all, you will no longer be alone. There is one truth the world keeps from you, that weakness is not failure. When you feel drained, when you want to give up, when you feel small in the midst of storms, that is when you are closest to me. I have never loved a soul because they were strong and never fell. I love because they dare to lift their face from the ashes, wipe away the tears, and whisper, I want to live again. And I have never turned away anyone who speaks those words. My love is not loud or showy. It is quiet, like warmth, slipping through thick clothing on a cold day, like sunlight touching trembling hands at dusk. And yet that very love will work miracles. It will warm what has gone cold, soothe the deepest wounds, and bring to life what you thought had died within you, your faith, your hope, and your longing, to live truly, to live well. So my child, don't just stand there. Take a step. Even if your legs tremble, even if your heart is unsure, just take one step toward the light, and I will take care of the rest. And you will see you don't need a grand miracle to change your life. You only need to believe that you are loved, even in your current brokenness. And from that love, something beautiful can begin. You do not need to be worthy to be loved. You only need to open your heart to receive it. Because I am not waiting for you at the end of the journey. I am walking with you every step of the way. I am the quiet encouragement in your chest when you want to give up. I am the gentle breath when you feel suffocated by life. I am the unseen arms that lift you when no one else understands the weariness within. Each day is a new chance. Not to become someone else, but to return to who you truly are, to return to me. Receive this day as a sacred gift and live it as if it were your only one. Love, forgive, dare to speak the truth, and above all, believe that you are still chosen, still called by name, and still able to begin again. I do not promise that you will never fall, but I promise that wherever you fall, I will be there to lift you up, not because you deserve forgiveness, but because I want to forgive. Not because you are good enough, but because I love you with a love that knows no conditions. My beloved child, I know there are moments when you lift your gaze to the heavens' eyes, weary heart, hollow, and wonder, do I truly matter? Does my existence mean anything in this vast, chaotic world? And I tell you without hesitation that you are an irreplaceable part of the sacred tapestry I have woven since the dawn of creation. It is no accident that you exist, no coincidence that you were born, no mistake that you carry wounds. Every fragment of your story is a necessary piece in the miracle I am unfolding within you. Even when you feel too small, too faded among the multitudes, the light within you remains a unique hue that no one else can replicate. In the divine symphony of life, the music of your soul resounds with a tone that cannot be repeated. And my child, I have been listening to that melody for a very long time, even before you knew your name, even when your heart was still wrapped in shadow. I do not promise you a path strewn with flowers, but I assure you of this: every tear, every collapse, every fracture in your heart, I see it all, and I hold it tenderly, because I know that from those very wounds light can pour in and new life will take root. People do not grow in tranquil light, but in the depths of sorrow, in every choice between right and wrong, between forgiveness and resentment, between love and indifference. Now once again I invite you, look deep within your heart, not with the eyes burdened by judgment, nor with the gaze of self-blame, but with the light of compassion and truth. In that sacred depth, I have planted a seed within you, a seed of goodness, of light, of eternal life itself. It has never disappeared, only veiled at times by the dust of life. Do not let old mistakes imprison you forever. Sin is not a death sentence, it is a wake-up call. It whispers, I need healing, I need to return. And I, your Creator, always have my arms open for your coming, not to judge, but to embrace your wounded soul with unconditional love. No sin is too deep for my love to reach. No darkness too thick for my light to pierce through. Whenever you feel regret, it is not a sign of weakness. It is proof that your heart still lives, still yearns for what is good. Do not reject that moment, embrace it. Let it become the material from which a new you is built, one braver, truer, and kinder. You were not born to dwell forever in regret, but to rise from it, to use it as a stepping stone toward the light. I do not love you because you are perfect. I love you even in your brokenness. That love does not withdraw when you fail, does not fade when you cry, does not end when you turn away. It walks quietly beside you like breath, like sunlight, like a cool stream in the desert. And you need only turn around, whisper a word from your heart, I want to come home, and I will draw near. The road ahead may be unclear. There will be times when you are so tired you won't want to take another step. But in every faint heartbeat I am still there. I do not walk ahead of you, nor behind, I walk with you. When you are exhausted, I will be your legs. When you are afraid, I will be your shelter. When you are silent, unable to pray, I will be the whisper of your soul. And remember, this renewal is not a single moment, but a whole journey. You do not need to change in a night. Just take one small step at a time every day, and let me walk with you. Even in your stumbling, I will use it to teach you something. Even your tears, I will keep them, and use them to water the dry places within you. Nothing in you is wasted when it is placed in my hands. You do not live only for yourself. Every act you take touches the world more deeply than you realize. A single word of love can save a breaking heart. One act of forgiveness can free two souls from the chains of hatred. And one right choice today can change not only your destiny, but also the lives of those silently watching you, hoping through you. I have created an invisible web where your soul is connected to countless others through every touch, every glance, every breath. When you hurt someone, don't think it's just between the two of you. You are hurting a part of yourself. And when you show kindness, you do not only lift the other person, you are lifting your own humanity and illuminating a corner of the world. Every small deed done in love will never be forgotten before me. My child, this world may tire you. It may bury you in lies and pressure you to become someone you're not. But in my eyes, you don't need to be anyone else. You only need to be yourself, the one I love. No matter how many times you fall, I will still call your name with the same original love. No matter how often you stray, I will still look at you with tenderness as I did the first time I touched your heart. Do not wait until everything is perfect to begin. Walk, even when you tremble. Return even when you still doubt. For what matters most is not certainty, but sincerity. And with just one spark of sincerity, I can rebuild an entire soul. I have kindled a flame in you, the fire of life, of hope, of eternal love. Do not let it go out. Let it burn, even if only as a small light. Then you will see darkness is no longer a place of fear, but a stage where light reveals its strength. Your journey does not end in the past. It begins right here, right now, in every small, sincere decision. Step toward the light, and you will see I have never left your side. I have simply waited for you to knock, and the door has always been open, needing only your courage to cross through. My precious one, when you've dared to begin the journey home, when your heart beats once more with love instead of doubt, that is when I invite you further. Do not stop at forgiveness, my child. Forgiveness is only the beginning of a long path, the path of renewal, of sowing light with every step you take. For every healed soul lives not only for itself, but becomes a fresh stream to revive the parched souls around it. Can you feel it? The ground shifting beneath your feet. It is not just nature, it is a sacred echo from the heavens telling you that every moment you live is a pulse of divine life. Nothing in this world is random. Every glance, every word, every small gesture carries sacred weight, often unnoticed. I did not create you as a lonely drop in the sea of life, but as a vital link in the wondrous chain of love. So do not think that what you do today affects only yourself. Every choice you make, even in silence, ripples across the universe. When you choose forgiveness over anger, when you stoop to help instead of turning away, you are healing not just one person, but the space around you. I see this clearly. I mark every tender footprint your love leaves behind. Nothing is overlooked before me. Remember, you were born not merely to exist, but to leave a sacred imprint. And that imprint is not measured by what the world celebrates, not tall buildings, not applause or fame. Those will vanish like morning mist. The true mark, the legacy you leave, is the love you've lived, the hope you've ignited in others. It's when you comfort a broken soul, listen to a lonely heart, forgive someone who once hurt you. These seemingly small acts become a flame that cannot be extinguished even when your life draws to a close. Do not measure yourself through the eyes of the world, look through mine. To me, a soul who lives for others, who brings warmth to the cold, is a shining star in the sky of humanity. And I long for you to become such a star, not the brightest, but faithful enough to light the way for someone lost. Your life, small in the world's eyes, can be the starting point of resurrection for many if you live it with a heart full of love. Step back and view your life in its entirety. It is not isolated. It is part of a grand symphony I am composing with the souls of all creation. You are a single note, irreplaceable. If you fall silent, the song will lack a vital sound. But if you sing even a gentle note of forgiveness or a jubilant cry of compassion, all of heaven will rise to join you. Do not let fear choke that voice. Do not let pride keep you from revealing the light already blooming within. For my child, there is nothing sadder than a lamp lit, then hidden under a cloth. I call you not merely to be saved, but to become a sign of salvation for others. You shall be living proof of the miracle of forgiveness, of the love that transforms destiny. Ask yourself, if my life were a book, what will remain on the final pages? Will it be of one who once erred but found redemption, or a soul that hid forever in fear of stepping into the light? Will you be one who sows hope, or one who passed through others' lives without leaving warmth? I ask little of you, only this. Will you dare to live your life with all the sincerity and love I have already placed within you? Do not wait for perfection. Do not wait for fear to vanish. Begin today with a small act, a whispered apology, a gesture of love. You do not know who needs it. It may be the one closest to you or a distant soul, but I know, and I will use you as my gentle instrument. If you let me lead, I will take you where you never imagined, places where love is healed and reborn. So keep walking even if your steps still tremble. Keep loving even if your heart still carries scars. Keep forgiving even if your voice still quivers. I will walk with you every step, every second, every heartbeat, and when you tire, I will carry you. When you are lost, I will find you. When you despair, I will place a spark of light within your heart, so you may never be fully extinguished. You are mine, and you were made to live, not merely exist. You were created to love, not to fear. You were given life not to gather fame, but to sow hope across this world. Every time you choose goodness, every time you speak kindness, every time you endure hardship with gentleness, you are drawing closer to the very person I dreamed of when I formed you. And one day, when this temporary journey comes to an end, you will understand that everything you lived through, the tears, the falls, the struggles, and the forgiveness, was not in vain. All of it has been woven into the garment of eternity. And you will stand before me not in trembling, but in peace. Because you lived, you loved, and you chose light in a world so full of darkness. My beloved child, I speak to you now not merely through words, but through a silent breath that slips into the deepest stillness of your soul. This voice has echoed across deserts, across oceans, through prisons and battlefields, through tears and faded laughter. It has not changed, still gentle yet powerful, still merciful yet stirring. And today, once again, I call your name, not to condemn you, but to awaken you, not to frighten you, but to invite you into something new, deeper, and more real. The upheavals you see around you, from nature to the human heart, are not disasters, but the tolling bells calling the soul to awaken. The old, the false, the layers of masks you and all of humankind once clung to for safety are now being burned away. Not to destroy, but to purify. Not to end, but to open. I am renewing the world, but first I long to renew your heart, for no true renewal begins from the outside if the inside remains closed. I see your weariness. There are days when you live as if you're only a shadow passing silently through everything yet touching nothing deeply. But oh my child, do not mistake emptiness for hopelessness. Within that very void I am making space for light to enter. And if you have the courage to receive what is crumbling as an invitation to begin again, then in the very place where you once felt broken, new life will rise. I know turning back is hard. To trust again after disappointment seems almost impossible. But why do you think you must do this alone? I am beside you. Not loud, not forceful, not rushed. I move in your rhythm no matter how slow your steps. Every time you sigh, I hear it. Every time you feel no one understands you, I do. I know every small wound in your heart, every memory that tightens your chest, every word you swallowed for fear of being hurt again. You have never truly been alone, not for a single moment. Even in those nights that seemed endless, even in the embraces that couldn't hold you long enough, even when the words you once believed turned to dust, I was there. Perhaps you do not see me with your eyes, nor touch me with your hands, but you can feel me in the tired yet undefeated beat of your heart. I am the warmth in the winter night, the final ray of light on the horizon, the soft voice in dreams you thought you had forgotten, and my love, oh child, it is unlike any love you've ever known. It is unconditional, unassuming, unwavering. It lifts you when you fall, washes your wounds without requiring your shame. It waits day after day just to see you lift your head and dare to believe you are still lovable, still healable, still capable of rising again. This love does not leave when you're silent, does not fade when you make mistakes. It only aches when you forget your own worth. Open your heart, beloved. Not wide, just a crack that is all I need to enter. I do not ask you to believe perfectly this instant. I only ask you to be honest enough to say, I'm not sure, but I want to try. Try to trust again. Try to take one more step. Try to let light touch the place that's known only darkness for so long. And if you do that, I promise you will not have to carry the weight alone anymore. My beloved child, when the light kisses the earth after a long rain, do you hear the soft exhale of the world? That is not just nature's resurrection, it is my echo reminding you that all life can begin again. The shifting winds, the trembling soil, the drifting clouds, they are not random. They are letters from the heavens, the whispers of a love that longs for your return, stirring every fiber of creation to remind you you are loved and you can live differently. Do you see? All of creation is preparing a way for your soul to return. Every change of season is my way of reminding you. Every transformation carries meaning, even if at first it looks like chaos. And the same is true of your life. You have walked through dark days, endured moments that felt beyond repair. But if today you still feel your heart stir at beauty, still ache at words of tenderness, still pause to marvel at sunlight through a window, then you have not lost your chance. You can still begin again, starting with this very moment. That moment is now, not when you're better, not after something special happens, but right in the midst of the uncertainty, the imbalance, and the tender brokenness you carry. I am not waiting for you to be perfect. I am waiting for you to stop running from what's real. You don't need elaborate preparations, just a small nod to yourself that says you're ready to live truly, love deeply, and begin a life where light is not something you only gaze at, but something you walk in every day. I know this is not easy. Letting go of pain doesn't mean forgetting it ever happened. It means releasing yourself from having to brace against it every day. Forgiveness doesn't make the wrongs right, but it frees your heart from hatred and shame. And when you are free, you can see your life again through the eyes of compassion, no longer harsh, no longer haunted. Think of your future as a garden, and each choice you make today is a seed. What you choose, you will harvest. A word of forgiveness, a loving gesture, a kind thought, though small they are, like rain gently softening the hardened earth. And one day you will be astonished to see your life bloom, not by luck, but because you faithfully planted goodness in quiet places. Oh, my child, I did not create you to live forever in regret. I created you to shine, to bring light to the darkest corners. And if today you feel even the smallest spark within a faint warmth, however fragile, then hold on to it, protect it. Let it grow day by day through faithfulness, courage, and gratitude. I will help you. I will be the light around you and within you until you believe you are worthy of a new life. You are not alone, not ever. In the moments when you feel unseen, uncared for, when you wish to disappear, I am there. Not with noise, not with arguments, but with presence. I am there in the stranger's smile, in the bird's song, when you open the window on a seemingly meaningless morning. In every small embrace, every gentle hand on your shoulder, I have never left you. And now, if you are reading these words, it is not by coincidence. It is a lovingly arranged encounter. I send this message to you not to rebuke, not to frighten, but to remind you there is a way out, and the door is open. You do not need to know the whole path, just take one step. Just say, today I want to change, and I will guide the rest. Do not fear failure, do not fear falling again, do not fear not being strong enough. You will stumble perhaps many times. But what moves you forward is not that you never fall, but that you do not abandon yourself. You are a work in progress, being formed every day, every hour, every moment you dare to live truthfully and choose what is good. And one day when you look back, you'll see the small decisions you made in silence today have painted the canvas of a lifetime. A life not perfect, but beautiful, because it is authentic. A life that may have walked through darkness, but was never consumed by it because it kept light at its center. I believe in you, not because you've proven anything, but because I have known you since before you were born. I planted in you the capacity to love, to forgive, to heal. And now, as you stand at the crossroads of choice, I gently remind you everything you need to begin again is already within you. So take the step. Don't wait. Don't let tomorrow carry the burden of an unfinished today. Don't let your heart grow drier one more day for lack of light. Step forward even if your steps tremble, and I promise I will take your hand, not to pull you, but to walk with you toward a future where love, truth, and compassion are the foundation of everything you build. You are the miracle I never stop believing in. And today, right now, is the moment you begin a new chapter of your life. Start it with one word, yes. And you will see the impossible will slowly begin to unfold into possible. My beloved child, as you read these words, perhaps your heart still carries an unspoken ache, a gentle yet persistent weariness, an emptiness not quite sorrowful, yet silently lingering. And I understand. I do not merely follow each step you take, but I feel every vibration of your heart, every subtle movement of your soul, even the smallest ones. I know that sometimes the hardest thing is not forgiving others, but learning to be kind to yourself for the cracks no one else can see. My child, I long for you to be gentle with yourself, just as you have once been gentle with someone else. Do not blame yourself for not being strong enough. Do not torment yourself for having once let go. Each person carries silent battles within, and sometimes vulnerability is not shameful. It is proof that you are still living truthfully, still feeling deeply. Forgive yourself, and from that place of grace you will be able to offer true forgiveness to others, even those who once brought you pain. I do not ask you to cast away anger all at once. I simply invite you to gradually replace it with understanding. For beneath the surface of fear, resentment, or even indifference, there is always something that has been wounded. When you look at others through the eyes of compassion, you will see their insecurities, their loneliness, and even their hidden desires they themselves dare not name. And when you see them that way, you will no longer wish to hurt them, but only to heal. This world, though fragile, holds a beauty beyond measure. It does not reside only in majestic mountains or vast oceans, but in the smallest, most ordinary things. You often pass by a tender gaze, a gentle touch, a timely question. These may seem insignificant, yet they are miracles. You do not need to do anything grand to change the world. Simply living each day with an open heart and eyes that truly listen is already a sacred transformation. I know there are wounds you carry that seem they will never heal. But my child, it is love and compassion that can mend the deepest cracks. When you live with kindness not only to others but to yourself, you are relighting the flame where darkness once dwelled. Each time you choose forgiveness over rage, understanding over judgment, love over condemnation, you become light in a world that desperately needs it. And remember, you do not need a great event to feel the sacredness of life. Even as you quietly witness a roadside flower bloom or hear the song of a bird on a gray morning, that too is me whispering, I am still here. Every breeze brushing your cheek, every sunbeam resting on your shoulder, these are my gentle touches quietly pouring out love. Do not let the rush of life pull you away from your own heart. Learn to live slowly, not to retreat, but to feel more deeply. Perhaps you think you've done nothing significant today. But if you've kept a smile on your face, been patient with someone, or treated yourself kindly, then you have lived a meaningful day. And days like that, one by one, will shape a life that matters. I do not say that you will always be strong, but I do promise that you will never walk alone. In every seemingly ordinary moment, I am there silently watching, giving you not what you want, but what you truly need. For I am not merely the creator, I am the one who loves you, knows you, and will never abandon you. Even if the world changes, even if hearts grow cold, even if the dreams you once trusted fall apart, I remain the same. I am the one who stays when all else has turned away. And in every moment, every choice, every doubt, just remember one thing: you can begin again at any time. The moment you turn back, the light will return. So walk on, my beloved, not too fast, not too sure. Just let each step be honest. Let love lead each step. And then, no matter how steep the hill or how dark the sky, you will find peace, for I am here. My dear child, as you continue your journey, may your eyes no longer be veiled by prejudice, past wounds, or the fear that once froze your soul. See the world around you as though you are truly alive for the first time, with a gaze that is clear, gentle, and full of mercy. Those you once thought strangers may in truth be mirrors reflecting parts of your soul you've never recognized. They too hurt as you do. They too struggle to love, to be forgiven, and to find a quiet home within their hearts. When you look upon them with the eyes of love, you will not only soothe them, you will begin to heal yourself. You are not a lonely wanderer in this desert. The souls you meet in crowded streets, in empty afternoons, in passing glances, are all walking the same road toward the light. Some walk quickly, some slowly, some still don't know where they're going. But child, your smile, your sincere word, your silent act of kindness, these are the seeds of resurrection I place in your hands to sow. Never underestimate the small things. A listening gaze may save a soul on the edge. A gentle gesture may melt a heart frozen by the indifference of the world. The more love you give, the more doors you open for me to pour grace into your life. For love is not a possession to be stored. It is a river that must flow, or it becomes stagnant. And when you give, you shall receive not in material rewards, but in a heart made spacious, a soul made free, and a life no longer bound by the narrowness of ego. In forgetting yourself to love, you will find yourself. That is the sacred paradox, but also the eternal truth. The more you love, the more real you become. The more you sacrifice, the more you grow. And the more you give, the more you are filled. But I know to live like this requires courage. For this world is not always kind to hearts that are true. It will make you doubt, will hurt you, will teach you to close off so you won't be wounded. But I tell you, true courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to walk forward even with trembling steps. Let me be the gentle strength that holds you when the winds blow against you. Remember, trials do not come to break you, but to refine your soul into something more enduring and pure. Do not reject your old wounds, for it is through the cracks that my light can enter. You do not need to prove yourself worthy, only to open your heart to dare to breathe the words, I want to begin again. And then you will find yourself like a tender bud rising after a long winter. I call this rebirth, a new life, unbound by the shadows of the past. You are not only healed, you are invited to be a bearer of life for those still wandering. My child, this is a sacred moment, the rare moment when your soul is aching, yearning for change, ready to live truthfully. Don't let it slip by. Don't delay. See it as a gift from heaven, a bridge that leads you from darkness to radiant light. Step onto that bridge even with the smallest steps, and every step will shape a profound transformation. You will come to see that every pain, every loss, every fall was not meaningless if you let it lead you back to love. And then as you begin to live with a heart no longer closed, you will sense the silent movement of the spiritual world. The signs you once overlooked, the breeze through the window, the quiet dawn over rooftops, the grateful glance of someone you helped, will become God's language, spoken just to your soul. Every trembling of the earth, every whisper of the wind, every silence of the night is calling you to walk the path of compassion. It is not the path of the perfect. It is the path of those honest enough to admit their brokenness and brave enough to begin again. I do not call you because you are strong. I call you because you know your weakness and you know you need me. And when you choose empathy over blame, sacrifice over selfishness, truth over pretense, then you become an instrument of life. The destiny of your soul does not lie in the hands of fate. It is woven from every small choice you make each day. No one decides for you. I have given you freedom. Now is the time to use it as a child who has grown. Choose light, choose love, choose forgiveness. And then you will see the miracle unfold. You will be rebuilt by the very love you once feared. And I, the one who has always been there, silent tender, will hold you as you cross that final threshold between regret and hope. I do not promise this journey will be easy, but I promise I will walk with you step by step, breath by breath, until you are no longer afraid of the darkness, because you yourself have become the light. My beloved child, your life is not a sentence passed, but a manuscript still being written day by day. And I, the one who created you, do not hold the pen in your stead, but I remain ever beside you, ready to whisper gentle suggestions when you grow weary or lose your way. You are the author of the next chapter, and no matter how dark the last one may have been, I can already see a passage filled with light, if you dare to keep writing. Lay down the pen inked with old tears, and take up a new one. Write with hope, with forgiveness, with compassion for your own soul. I know there are memories that cling to you like a drenched cloak in a cold rain. There are mistakes you wear like invisible shackles, believing they must be carried forever. But child regret is only useful when it becomes a bridge to change. If it only causes you to falter, then it is no longer repentance but a chain. I do not want you to live forever in the room of your past. I want you to step out, even if your legs tremble, even if your heart hesitates, but with eyes that now know how to look forward. A clear mind does not mean a mind that has never been clouded, but one that has been cleansed by truth. A gentle heart is not one that has never been hurt, but one that has chosen not to let its wounds turn it to stone. When you continue with such gentleness, not only is the world around you changed, but your inner being becomes deeper and more alive than ever before. And you will realize that every small act, a hug, a word of forgiveness, a knowing glance, contributes to the recreation of the world. Do not underestimate your daily choices, my child. Every decision, whether to remain silent instead of speaking in bitterness, or to rise in defense of what is right, is a voice you send out into life. And this world, vast and noisy as it is, still needs more voices that are gentle, brave, and true. Believe this, you can be the hand that lightly touches the shoulder of someone in despair, the first eyes to see another with compassion, the small flame in a long night, and just one spark is enough to begin pushing back the dark. The tremors around you, the upheavals of society, the shifts within hearts, even the unrest within yourself, are not meant to frighten you. They are a sign that all things move in their time, and the time of renewal is drawing near. If the old foundation no longer holds, it does not mean you failed. It means I am calling you to rebuild on something new, not on the expectations of the world, but on truth and unwavering love. Let go of what has decayed. Empty habits, relationships no longer grounded in honesty, false beliefs you've kept only out of fear of change. They may once have helped you survive, but now they are eroding the truest parts of you. Do not fear loss. For every time you release what is no longer serving you, you make space for what is good to arrive. Letting go is not failure. Letting go, for the sake of truth, is the first step toward a life of true depth. Do you hear it? in the aching of your heartbeats, in the quiet sighs at night, in the stillness that at times feels empty. That is me. That is the call you've heard 100 times but never dared to answer. That is the warmth that brushed your hand when you reached out in desperation. That is the gaze of someone who looked at you with a kindness you thought you didn't deserve. It is me, telling you you can begin again. You can live differently. You can right now do the thing your heart has longed for all along. Place your hand over your chest and feel your heart still beats, and that means there is still a chance. Still an invitation, still a future, unwritten, and that future, though you may not see it clearly, I have seen it. It is not written with fear but with courage, not painted with avoidance but lit with the light of truth. And I will walk with you in every word, every line, if you allow me to enter. You do not need to be certain of everything. You only need to be certain of one thing, that you no longer want to live falsely. You no longer want to carry burdens that aren't yours. You no longer want to dim the light that once burned bright in your eyes. If you are honest enough to admit that, then that alone is a powerful yes. And with that, yes, I will work wonders, not with thunder or spectacle, but with quiet, steady, enduring healing. I am waiting for you, not at the end of your path, but right where you are, in this very moment, in your present state, even if it feels messy, tangled, full of doubt, because here and now is the perfect place for rebirth. And when you take your first step, trembling though it may be, you will see the light is not far. It is within you, waiting to be embraced and shared. My dear one, I know how many times you've tried to return only to turn back again. You wonder if you can truly live a new life, or if all I say is merely comfort. But child, if you knew the patience with which I have waited, for every moment you dared to hope again, you would understand that returning has never been a fantasy. I have seen the flame within your soul, small, faint perhaps, but never extinguished. That flame is why I keep reaching for you, why I keep sending signs and whispers, so you will know that new life is not just a possibility, it is a promise. You do not need to know exactly where you are going. You only need to know that the old way no longer has room for you. The pretense is suffocating. The insincere relationships leave you lonely, even in a crowd. The goals that once thrilled you have become a burden. This is not failure. This is a sign that you have grown, that your soul is yearning for something truer, deeper, more sacred. And if you dare to release the old, I will lead you to something new, where you no longer have to strive to be loved, but are loved simply for being who you are. You may feel you hold nothing in your hands, no striking success, no towering virtue, not good enough by the world's standards. But I do not look at what is in your hands. I look at what your soul still longs for. And if within you there remains a desire to live a wholehearted life, not perfect but authentic, then I will walk with you in every step. I will help you gather each stone to build a new foundation. I will do the quiet work, in your heart, your thoughts, your habits, and little by little you will see, in simplicity, in sincerity, in humble faith, you are being reborn. And when you begin to live differently, not loudly, not for show, but quietly and truly, the world will begin to change with you. Those who once doubted will see a gentle light in your eyes. Those who suffer will find comfort in your words. Because when you are healed, you do not live only for yourself. You become a place where others too find healing. And that is one of the greatest miracles I have placed in you, the ability to love, to forgive, to give light, even if you have once lived in the dark, my beloved child. From the very beginning, when I shaped you with my own love, I placed within you everything you would ever need to find your way home. Not the noisy or dazzling things the world celebrates, but the quiet and eternal, a light that never goes out, a love that never runs dry, and a hope that never fades. That light, it is not the kind that blinds with brilliance, but a small flame hidden deep within your heart, just enough to guide you step by step, even when everything around is darkness. It never extinguishes, no matter how many times you lose your way, no matter how much fear, hurt, or forgetfulness has buried it. That light is me within you. That love, it is not the fleeting affection of this world, but a love unconditional, unchanging amidst all that shifts. That love was already there before you knew how to say I'm sorry, before you ever did anything you would regret. It does not require a reason to exist, only your willingness to receive it. No matter how many times you fail, no matter how often you turn away, that love remains, patient, tender, and fervent. And the hope, it is the gentle breath I place within you each morning, the reason you can rise again after each fall. It is not a vague hope, but a firm belief that goodness is real, that your soul, no matter how torn, can be mended through forgiveness and compassion. Let this light, love, and hope be the compass of your soul. In moments of confusion, they will point you toward what is right. In times of weakness, they will remind you that you are not alone. And when you must choose between what is easy and what is right, listen to the voice within, where I am whispering, you are strong enough. You are radiant enough. You are loved enough to do what is right. Do not let this world teach you to live with a closed heart. Live with the nobility of a soul born of light, nourished by love and guided by a hope that cannot be extinguished. You do not need to accomplish great things to be noble. Simply walk each day in truth, face each challenge with courage, and love with your whole heart. I will be with you in every choice, every turn, every new day. And when you are weary, look within, to where my light still quietly burns. You will see not once have you ever been truly alone. And the future, though yet unclear, will always be worth stepping toward if you let the eternal things I have given become the guiding star of your life. My beloved child, I see the times you appear strong, though in truth you are merely surviving the day. I know the moments you smile at others while your heart is screaming from unspoken wounds. You do not want anyone to see your weakness, so you've learned to hide your pain, to press down your fears, to wrap everything in silence. But child, I do not need you to be strong in front of me. I do not love a tidied-up version of you. I love you, even in your mess, your brokenness, your chaos. And I have not come to demand that you be okay, but to sit beside you, to listen with you, to heal with you. Sometimes you ask, if you love me so much, why do you still let me hurt? But look again, child, that pain is not punishment. It is me trying to wake you because you've grown used to living in untruth. When you accept what isn't right just out of fear of losing something, when you stay in a place that drains your soul just because you're afraid of change, I cannot stay silent. And so I allow some things to collapse. Not to destroy you, but to set you free. Because you were not born to merely survive, but to live in depth and truth, and in the sacred dignity I placed in you from the start. You've often felt not enough, not moral enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. But hear me, no one is enough by the world's standards. You don't have to be measured by them, you only need to be honest with me. Because when you take off the mask, when you come to me, not with achievements but with a trembling heart, that is when grace begins to pour. I don't wait for you to be perfect to love you. I love you first, and it is that love that will change you. Don't judge yourself through the lens of past wounds. See yourself through my eyes, and you will understand why I can never leave you, not even for a second. I have planted good seeds in you, not to be locked away, but to grow into a garden of sweetness for both you and others. But seeds only grow when placed in the soil, dark, damp, pressured. Likewise, you cannot grow forever in your safe zone. Challenges are not meant to bury you, but to awaken the strength in you that's yet to be discovered. Let the darkness of past days become the backdrop for the green shoots of hope to rise. Let your wounds be the place where grace flows, not only to nourish you, but to soothe every soul you'll meet. I don't need you to understand every part of my plan. I only need you to take one small step with faith, as tiny as a mustard seed, because that small faith is enough for me to do great things in your life. When you are unsure, when your heart feels as silent as the desert, don't retreat, stay in small faithfulness. For in the seemingly ordinary days, I am doing the deepest work within you. Don't wait until you feel good enough to move forward. Just take the step, and on the path, you will find the guidance. You are not wandering aimlessly, for every step toward truth is never in vain. Your journey will not look like anyone else's. Do not compare. Do not measure your worth by outward milestones. You may never receive applause. Your story may not have dramatic turning points like the ones others speak of. But if you live with honesty, if you choose each day to love a little, forgive a little, remain faithful a little, then you are doing something miraculous. Because this world does not need more souls succeeding by false standards. It needs more souls like yours, brave enough to love, to believe, to step out of the shadows even when your hands still tremble. And I see it all. I cherish each of those small moments like precious gems in my kingdom. Do you know where your strength truly lies? Not in never falling, but in rising after every fall that seemed final. I see every scar in your heart, the pain you never shared, the shame you've hidden beneath your strong exterior. But it is those very things that make me love you more, because you are not numb, not cold. You still feel pain, you still yearn to be healed. And that is why I remain, not to judge, but to walk with you. I am not waiting for a flawless soul. I wait for a child willing to admit they need love. Perhaps you've grown too used to a world where kindness is mistaken for weakness, where real emotions are silenced by fake standards of success. But let me tell you, do not let the world snuff out your gentle flame. Do not let your wounds turn you into someone even you no longer recognize. You were not made to live with a frozen heart, but to love, even when love brings pain. For only through love do you touch the most sacred part of your being. That is where you and I are alike. We know how to love unconditionally and how to forgive even after being wounded. Each day is not a meaningless copy of the last. It is a blank page, and you are the one who writes each word through your choices. You can write in bitterness or in gratitude. You can cover it in regret or sow new hope. I do not control the pen in your hand, but I am always whispering. Write something good, even just one line, even one word. Because what you choose today will become the whisper to your future self, and maybe someday a guiding word for someone else who is lost the way you once were. Do not hide your wounds as if they are a disgrace. They do not make you unworthy, they make you real. I have never loved a soul for being flawless. I love them for being courageous enough to be true, even when that truth is shattered, tearful, confused. You do not need to conceal your pain. You only need to let it become a place where light can enter. For light does not seek perfection. It seeks the space where it is most needed. And I, the light, am still waiting to pour into every dark corner you were afraid no one could understand. I know there are times you look ahead and see only thick fog. You do not know the way, do not know what to do next. Your heart feels as heavy as stone. But child, I am not asking you to see the whole path. I only ask you to take one step, and I will light the way. Do not fear the haze. Do not fear delay. Do not fear being not enough. I have never asked for certainty. I ask for faith. When you step forward in faith, even with trembling steps, all of heaven moves with you. And little by little the future will unfold, not with loud thunder, but with the quiet warmth of a road opening beneath your feet. When you are exhausted, when your heart feels hollow and empty, I want you to remember this one breath, one faint whisper of the heart saying, "Please hold me," is enough for me to gather you in my arms. I do not need long prayers. I only need honesty. When you have no strength left to pray, I will be the one who prays for you, through my steady, unshakable presence in your life. You don't need all the answers. You only need to know when you no longer believe in yourself, I still do. When you can no longer love yourself, I still love you. When you can no longer take another step, I will carry you across the roughest ground. You may have thought that only when your life is in perfect order, clean, neat, flawless, then you can come near me. But I tell you this, my child, it is precisely when your life is messy, full of broken pieces, when you feel weakest and most weary, that is when I come closest. Not to judge, not to scold, but to kneel beside you in the ruins and begin with you to pick up the pieces. I do not wait for you to fix it all before I love you. I love you right there in that unfinished place, and from that love the miracle begins. Do not imprison yourself in silence just because you think no one could possibly understand what is happening inside you. There are things you cannot share with anyone, but child, I am the one who understands even the words you've never spoken. Every time you swallow your tears, I see. Every sleepless night with no clear reason, I hear the quiet cry of your soul, even when it's barely a whisper. You do not need to articulate it. Just open your heart slightly, just turn your gaze toward me, and I will come to you like the gentle dawn after a long cold night. You may be thinking, nothing is changing, everything still feels dark, but don't let your eyes deceive you. True transformation happens in silence, like a seed cracking open beneath the soil where no one sees. Just because you haven't seen results doesn't mean there's no progress. Every time you turn away from something wrong, even when it tempts you, every time you choose to speak truth, even in fear, every time you return to prayer, even briefly, that is growth, dear one. And it is these quiet steps that lay the firm foundation for true renewal. Do not compare yourself with anyone. Your journey doesn't need to resemble anyone else's in order to be right. Some souls take years to learn how to trust again. Some hearts must break many times before they can love rightly. No one is born completely steady, not even the saints. What made them different wasn't perfection, it was faithfulness. They fell, they failed, but they never gave up returning to me. And you can be the same. No rush, no pressure, no reason other than the love within your heart. If one day the world turns its back on you, remember there is still one place you will never be rejected, where I am waiting for you. You don't need to come with your head held high. You can come on trembling legs with tear-filled eyes, with a heart full of cracks. As long as you come, I will open the door. And in my presence there is no suspicion, no interrogation, only arms always ready to embrace you. Be tired, be weak, be real, but don't close your heart to me. Sometimes what you need is not a miracle that changes everything, but a small light that keeps you from falling. I will be that light. I will be the gentleness in stormy days, the strength when you have nothing left to hold on to. My love does not shout, it does not boast, but it is steadfast like the earth, soft like the wind, and rooted in your soul deeper than anything else. When you feel weak, let me be strong in your place. When you feel you can no longer love, let my love restore your heart, breath by breath, little by little, until you can love again, live again, and hope again. Beloved child, if in the previous passage I whispered to you that my presence is unchanging, then now I want to lead you deeper into the meaning of that love, so that you do not merely hear nor simply believe, but feel it flowing through every fiber of your being, every breath you take. There are moments in life when everything seems to shatter before your eyes, when you feel as if the whole world has turned its back on you. Friends drifting away, family failing to understand, work collapsing, dreams dissolving like morning mist. In those very moments, I am the gentle stream seeping into parched soil, the warmth pressing into a heart that thought it had turned to stone. I want you to understand that my love does not waver before the shifting tides of your life. You may fail, you may stumble, you may doubt everything, but I never change. Do you remember in those nights of restless darkness when tears slipped silently and no one knew how I bent close beside you, not to instantly solve all your pain, but to hold you, to let my heart beat in rhythm with yours as a reminder, you are not alone. Many times you thought I was silent, yet in truth I was speaking in the language of presence, in the whisper of the wind, in the trembling of branches, in the firm clasp of a friend's hand appearing unexpectedly. All these are signs that I have never abandoned you. I know that at times you think love belongs only to the worthy, that it exists only when you are good enough, obedient enough, successful enough. But look deeper into my essence. My love is not conditional, not traded for achievements, nor diminished by mistakes. It is like the vast sky. No matter where you run, when you look up, you still see its expanse covering you. You may stumble into the mud, but the ground does not cease to bear you up. In the same way, I do not turn away from your stains. On the contrary, it is when you are weakest that I hold you tighter, so that you may learn true strength is not found in your hands, but in my unchanging embrace. There are days when your heart feels like nothing but wounds, when painful memories cut into you like thorns. You long to escape yourself, yet the further you run, the closer the pain pursues. Remember, I am present even within that pain, walking through it with you, transforming it into a testimony of growth. A scar may remind you of the past, but it also bears witness that you survived, that my hand carried you through the abyss. Do you see, love is not a smooth road without waves, but the power that steadies you even in the storm. Beloved one, never believe the whispers of despair telling you that you are a burden, that the world would be better without you. Those thoughts do not come from me. I breathe life into your chest, placed my breath in every beat of your heart, which means your existence is never meaningless. If the world turns its back, my arms remain open. If every door closes, I still have a secret path prepared to lead you through. For to me, you are not merely a fragile creature. You are the masterpiece I have carved, the singular symphony that can never be repeated. I know there are times you reproach me because your prayers seem to fall into emptiness. You cry out for a miracle, yet all remains still. Child, understand that such silence is not abandonment, but a way for me to teach you patience, to teach you to trust even when nothing is clear. I want you to know that love does not always give what you want immediately, but it always provides what you truly need. Some desires, if granted too soon, could harm you. Some longings, when delayed, will bloom more gloriously. I see the complete picture while your eyes glimpse only fragments. And while you are bewildered, I am patiently weaving a wondrous tapestry where even the dark threads serve to make the light shine brighter. Think back. How many times in your life did you think you would never make it through, and yet here you stand today? Is that not proof of my hand? I do not promise to remove every sorrow, but I promise to turn it into lessons, to transform tears into cleansing streams, to make the darkest valleys places where you will find light. If you will open your heart, you will see that I am not only at the destination, but walking with you in every step, even the slowest, clumsiest ones. Little one, my love is not reserved only for radiant days, but soaks into the most ordinary moments. In the simple meal, in the sudden burst of laughter, in the morning sun spilling through the window, these two are my whispers. I am here. I am still here. I want you to learn to see me in what seems small and mundane, for within simplicity lies eternal wonder. When you recognize me in the little things, your heart will feel less alone and your eyes will shine with hope. Do not be ashamed of weakness. Do not fear your tears, for I love even your fragility. That is precisely where I can pour in my strength. If you pretend to be strong forever, you will block the space for me to enter. But when you dare to confess, I am tired, I have no more strength, then it is in that moment I lift you onto my shoulders, and you will see that strength is no longer a burden you must carry alone, but a gift freely given. My precious child, I want you to engrave deeply that my love is not measured by results, nor does it diminish because of failures. It does not change when you succeed, nor fade when you fall. On the contrary, it is in your failure that I show my love. Even more so, you may understand, your worth is not based on any condition. If you believe you are loved only when you do well, you will live in fear. But when you know you are loved unconditionally, you will live in freedom, and from that place everything you do will become a song of willing offering, not a burden to bear. Imagine my heart as a boundless ocean. No matter how deep you sink, its waters still enfold you. You cannot escape this love, just as a drop of rain cannot separate itself from the sea. Therefore, never fear that one day I will abandon you. No, my love is not a contract with an expiration date. It is an eternal covenant engraved with my very life. So when you walk through weary days, lift up your head and whisper, I know you are here. With just that word from you, I will cause your heart to feel the rhythm of mine. You will find comfort, feel wings of hope growing from what was once broken. You will understand that even when the world spins in chaos, there is still one place of peace, my embrace. And I want you to remember this. Love is not for you to keep to yourself, but so you may become a stream of love for others. When you know you are loved, you will find it easier to love even those who hurt you. When you feel my forgiveness, you will be able to forgive others. For it is this very unconditional love that will flow through you, spreading outward, transforming the world around you. Therefore, child, whenever your heart doubts, whenever your steps grow weary, whenever the night makes you think you are lost, remember this: I have never and will never leave you. I am always there, not only in the light, but also in the darkness, not only in your laughter, but also in your tears, not only when you are strong, but also when you tremble. My love is your breath, the beat of your heart, the very reason you exist, and it will forever remain so. Beloved child whom I have always loved, if before I reminded you that my love is ever present, now I would lead you deeper, so you may see that this love is not a fragile, fleeting emotion nor a reward granted only to those deemed worthy. It is an eternal reality, an unchanging power that transcends every fluctuation within your heart, not dependent on the steadiness of your moods, nor bound to your successes or failures. Like a spring that keeps flowing whether the forest's leaves fall or remain green, like the sky that remains a deep blue even after the storm has passed, this love does not run dry. It waits quietly like an open door, standing ready for you to step through and receive it. Perhaps many times in your life you have equated love with feeling, thinking that when you feel peace you can trust that I love you, and when you feel empty or bereft, you suppose I have turned away. Yet child emotions are never a truthful measure of love, for feelings come and go like clouds across the sky, at times clear, at times gray, at times bursting forth, at times still, while my love remains. It is like that very sky, constant, steadfast, never gone, no matter how thick the clouds. Even when you see only darkness, the sky itself is intact. Likewise, though your heart may be in turmoil, my love is always present, undiminished, and never distant. Think of the river. Day after day it flows, not ceasing because you see it or do not see it. Often you stand on the bank and mistake the surface's calm for stillness, but beneath that surface the streams continue to run, nourishing fields and reviving parched land. So it is with my love. There are moments when you do not perceive it and presume drought, yet deep within it still moves, still spreads, still sustains life in you. You may be indifferent, you may forget, but that love never goes out. And I want you to understand further, this love does not arise because you do right or wrong. It is not a reward for your perfection, nor is it withdrawn when you stumble. It is not like the mutable affections of the world that alternate between fervor and chill. My love knows nothing of worthiness in your narrow human sense. You need not fight or strive to be chosen. You were chosen from the very moment life began, and you will be chosen forever. Therefore, cease tormenting yourself with the thought that you must be thoroughly good to be loved, or that weakness will earn you rejection. No, child, I love you because you are you, and that love is unconditional presence. There are days when your heart changes, like the weather, radiant one moment and shadowed the next. You trust this morning and doubt by evening. You pray one day and neglect the next. You feel affection for a while and then anger. From those very changes you may assume my love fluctuates as your feelings do, but I want you to etch this in your soul. I am not human to love and then forget, to promise and then retract. I am the Eternal One. My love does not rise and fall like the tides, nor does it fade with years. It is like the sun that continues to shine, though clouds may hide it. Whether you perceive it or not, it still pours its light. If you will open your heart, you will recognize this love surrounding every moment, in the innocent laughter of a child by the roadside, in the gentle glance of a kindly stranger, in the cool raindrop on your cheek during a hot noon. It is present in the breath you draw each morning, in the steady beat of your heart, in the soft light that slips through the window's crack, each a whisper from me declaring my love for you, that this love persists, whether you notice it or not. Beloved, you may at times have felt forgotten, isolated in the throng, weeping because no one understands. Yet even in those moments I have never departed. My presence is not loud or boisterous, but it is as sure as the ground beneath your feet. You do not feel the earth every day, yet without it you could not stand. In the same way, my love is the foundation upon which your whole life rests, whether you acknowledge it or not. Do not confuse emotion with reality. Feelings can deceive you, but my love is unchanging truth. Whether today you rejoice or sorrow, whether you believe or doubt, whether you run toward me or turn away, the love remains. It does not need you to hold it in order to exist. Rather, it holds you. You may abandon everything else, but you cannot abandon. My love for it has taken root deep within your being, like lifeblood coursing through your body. So do not fear weakness. Do not be afraid of losing what is immutable. The only thing required of you is to open your heart and let that love surge in. Like a darkened room that brightens the instant you crack the door, you need not toil to create the light, simply allow it to enter. My love is there, always waiting for your reception. And when you let that love sink in, you will be transformed. Your heart will grow less anxious. Your eyes will see the world with gentler light. Your hands will give without fear of loss. You will know forgiveness because you have been forgiven. You will learn patience because you have been embraced. You will live in hope because you dwell within a love that never wanes. Remember then, this love is not a passing feeling nor a prize for the deserving. It is presence, eternal reality, an unending stream like the spring that flows, though leaves fall, like the sky that remains blue after the storm. It will forever be there, awaiting the moment you open your heart to receive it. Beloved child whom I long for today, I send you one final invitation, not to plant fear in your heart nor to intimidate you into trembling, but to awaken the soul within you that has fallen asleep. This is a sacred moment, a crossroads where you must choose. On one side lies the old road, gentle in its familiarity, yet full of regret and holding you in a weary loop. On the other lies a new road, rough, demanding, strewn with trials, but radiant with the light of transformation and hope. I have seen how long you have borne invisible burdens, unhappy memories, words that cut deep into your soul, failures that force your head down, all like stones pressing heavily on your steps. You have learned to live with them until you began to think you were nothing but those wounds. But child, I tell you to let go. Let the past teach you, but do not let it define you. What has passed has no right to bind you unless you give it that right. You are not the chain of your mistakes. You are not yesterday's sentence. You are a soul being called into new life, a soul that can be reshaped by faith and light. Picture yourself standing at a fork to the left, the familiar path you have walked 1,000 times easy because you know every bend, yet every step returns you to the same place. Repetition, exhaustion, regret. You may continue there, but you already know how it ends, an endless loop with no escape. Look to the other side and you will see a new path, narrower, steeper, covered in stones. It may make you afraid because it requires courage, but upon that way the light of hope is already shining, and there change awaits you. Beloved child, I call you not to let fear hold you back. Remember that every great forward step in life begins with the courage to release. Set down the burdens that have bent your back for years. Cast off the shackles that bind your mind's self. Blame, resentment, shame. You need no longer be prisoner to them. When you choose to trust, when you choose to step, I will place within you the strength to continue. The faith I ask you to have is not vague or fragile. It is a power capable of transforming a life. It will not deny the past, but it will reshape you from deep within. It will enable you to see old wounds as badges of growth rather than chains, to turn tears into seeds that sprout hope, to learn that failure is not the final period but a stepping stone to rise higher. Do not let the voice of the past drown out the call of the present. The past will whisper that you cannot change, that you deserve only to live in darkness, but I tell you today is a new day. This is the last opportunity I give, not because my love is limited, but because I want you to realize that time waits for no one. A lifetime is short. Do not let it slip away in sorrow. Have courage, lift your head, and step out of your old safe zone. Do not fear the stumbles, for I will lift you up. Do not dread the laughter of others, for my gaze follows you with gentleness. Do not worry you are insufficient, for it is when you are weak that I fill you with strength. You need only one thing: choose to walk. All the rest I will accompany. Mark this down. This is a sacred moment. Today, in this very instant, you can redefine your life. You can let faith reform your soul in place of old wounds. Begin a new chapter, radiant with hope. You are not defined by what has been lost, but by what you are about to receive. Choose, child, the old road or the new, the loop of regret or the light of transformation, the prison of the past or faith that frees. I stand here with arms wide open, waiting for you to step in. And when you choose me, choose faith, you will witness a miracle. The burden falls away, the darkness dissolves, and your soul is kindled into true freedom. Beloved child, I want you to pause for a moment and look deeply into the weight of the choices you now hold in your hands. Do not think that the decision you make today is merely a fleeting action, a small selection among countless matters of life. No child, every decision, no matter how small it may appear, is like a stone set in place, becoming either a firm or fragile foundation for the house of your soul. You must understand that the future is not built only from great events or obvious turning points. The future is woven day by day, hour by hour, within the quiet decisions you make. When you choose forgiveness instead of resentment, trust instead of doubt, rising instead of surrender, each of these, like small bricks, gradually builds an entire dwelling of life. And that future is not limited to the days before your eyes. It opens into a realm of peace, depth, and eternity, where your soul will find rest in light and serenity. Child, never underestimate the power of a sincere decision. Sometimes a single yes spoken from the heart can redirect the whole course of life. Sometimes one firm no in the face of temptation can save you from the abyss. A decision does not live only in the moment it is made. It echoes long after. It will become a voice within your mind, a refrain in every day you live, touching even those around you in ways you could never imagine. Think back, how many times has one small decision of another changed your life? Perhaps it was just a word of counsel, an embrace, a hand reaching out at the right time. Yet in that moment you were lifted, strengthened, given light, and so it is with you. Every time you choose love over selfishness, patience over anger, honesty over falsehood, those decisions not only transform you, but ripple outward like waves touching the lives of others. Remember, child, that no decision is ever invisible. Each one sows a sound into the universe, and one day it returns to you like an echo from the mountains. When you sow seeds of faith and love, they blossom into fruit in your life. When you sow despair or selfishness, those too will bear fruit, and you must face them. Therefore, be mindful and awake in every choice, for it is not only an act for the present, but a seed for eternity. I know there are times you think yourself too small to make any difference, that your life holds little weight in this vast world. But I tell you, even the smallest drop contributes to the ocean, even the tiniest flame can pierce the night. A sincere decision, a loving act, a truthful word, all hold power far beyond your imagination. You may never see the fullness of their impact, but I see, and I will take what is small and write something great with it. Child, when you stand at the crossroads, have courage to choose the way of light. Do not cling to familiar darkness out of fear. Do not settle for the easy but empty way out of weariness. You are invited into life peaceful, eternal, not through complex rituals, but through the decision you make today, the decision to trust, to release, to walk forward. And when you choose faith, when you choose life, you will witness a wonder. The chains that bound you will fall away. The whispers of the past will fall silent. Your heart will be lighter than it has ever been. You will walk with free steps, bright eyes, and a renewed soul. Believe me, child, the decision you make today will never be meaningless. It will follow you, nourish you, transform you. It will become the song of your soul, echoing through every remaining day. And more than that, it will touch those you meet like a fresh breeze, like an unexpected ray of light, like a seed cast into dry ground. You will never know how many souls you may touch by one decision today. So, beloved child, do not delay. Do not wait for a perfect tomorrow before you begin. Decide now a sincere decision, a resolute decision. Choose life, choose faith, choose light, and when you choose, I promise you will never walk alone. Beloved child, I call you to let your heart guide the choices you make, not to let fear be your ruler. For fear only keeps you trapped in a narrow cage, forcing you to bow your head and preventing you from stretching toward the light. The heart, when soaked in love, will lead you into places your wavering reason dares not step. So do not act from shame, for shame is a chain that binds you to past mistakes and makes you forget that today you can begin again. Act with love, because love not only frees you but also revives all that is around you. Do not let time slip away like sand falling from your hand. Each grain seems small, But when they are all gone, you will discover you have lost a whole life. And one day, when you look back, what will wound you most will not be your failures, but the fact that you never truly dared to begin. Do not let fear keep you motionless. Do not let shame make you turn back. Do not allow hesitation to become an invisible shackle. And remember that every breath I give you is not merely for existence, but is an opportunity to change, to heal, to live a life that is truly alive. The breath of today is my invitation. In this very moment, you can release the past. In this very moment, you can forgive yourself. In this very moment, you can begin a new chapter. You need not wait for tomorrow nor for perfection, for every beginning occurs in the present, and the present is the gift I give you, so you may alter the destiny of your soul. When you choose to live by the light, each step you take not only brightens your path, but also illuminates the way for others groping in the darkness. Consider that every decision you make is not merely for yourself, but echoes outward and touches the lives of those you have never met. A kind word you offer can rescue a soul from despair. An act of love you perform can become a lamp in primal someone else's night. A courageous choice you make can awaken courage in the weak. This world needs light, and you are the one called to carry it, but light only catches fire when you choose love, when you choose to live truly according to your calling, instead of letting fear and shame extinguish you. You were made to be a lighthouse amid the sea of life, not to curl up in shadow, and you will find that as you let your inner light shine, I will ensure it never runs dry, but grows ever stronger, widening and bringing life to many. Therefore, beloved child, begin now, breathe, and in that breath be aware that I give it to you as a new opportunity. Live, but live with love, not with shame. Choose, but choose with your heart, not with fear. Step forward, but step in the light, so that every footprint you leave becomes a guiding lamp for those who follow. And remember, I am not calling you to something impossible. I do not cast you out into the sea and leave you to drown. I walk with you. When you choose to live in light, I will be the light in your eyes. When you choose to act in love, I will be the life that nourishes your heart. When you choose to let go, I will be the hand that lifts you. And when you choose to walk, I will be the road beneath your feet. Beloved child, I know this journey is not easy. I understand there are days when you want to let everything go, when the weight of accumulated pain wears your heart thin, when wounds pile up as if tearing your very soul, and when every hope seems to be snuffed out by the night. I hear the sighs, the stifled sobs you hide from others. I see the emptiness in your eyes as if you are ready to surrender to the currents of life, and in those moments, I do not leave you. I am right beside you. Whispering into the depth of your heart, you are still loved even in your deepest weariness, and that love will lift you up. You may think weakness is shameful, that giving up proves you are not strong enough, but I tell you that even in the moment you fall, you remain infinitely precious. I do not love you because you are strong, nor because you are whole. I love you in your fragility, in your tears, in the moments you lose your way, and it is precisely when you are weak that my love shines forth most clearly. I do not come to blame, but to raise you up, to wipe the tears from your cheeks, and to remind you, you still bear my image. You are a treasure worthy of a full life. My love for you is not merely the light that chases away the darkness outside, but the arms that lift you from the ruins. It not only drives back the night, it heals the wounds within your heart. It not only brings comfort, it restores the strength for you to go on. Like a mother holding the child who sobs in her arms, I enfold you in my embrace, so you do not wrestle with your pain alone. I brush the dust of the road from you, I kiss your wounds, and I whisper, you have not been abandoned. Remember that your tears are not in vain. Each drop is cherished by me like a precious gem, and they will become seeds sown into the earth that one day will sprout into resilience. You may think crying is weakness, but I say crying is the soul, finding its path to healing. Do not hide your tears from me, for I am the one who dries them, and as those tears dwindle, you will see a new hope kindle within your heart. I know there are days when you feel worthless, when life seems nothing but a long, dragging sequence of days, but do not believe those lies. You remain my image. Despite every mistake, despite every wound, and you carry within you an intrinsic enduring worth that nothing can strip away. Even if the world turns its back, I will never turn away, and even if you feel unworthy, I still call you treasure. Do not forget that every breath you draw is proof that I continue to give you opportunity to live, to change, to rediscover meaning. If I had given up on you, you would not be here. But because you are alive, it means I still place hope in you. Take hold of this breath as a new chance. Allow yourself to live, not merely to exist, but to enter into a full life where love is. Not theory, but a power that transforms each day. Beloved, do not be afraid when you feel exhausted, for when you have no strength left, I will be your strength. When you fall, I will be the hands that lift you. When you are lost, I will be the light that guides you. You need not prove anything to be loved. You only need to open your heart to receive the love that has been there all along. And when you do, you will find yourself raised up, healed, reborn. So, my child, allow yourself to fall into my arms. Let me dry those tears, wash away the dust of the road, and place upon you once more a look of loving care. Remember, you have never lost your worth for that. Worth does not lie in achievements, nor in the praise or scorn of others, but in the truth that you are made in my image, and that never changes. Therefore, when you are weary, whisper, I am still loved. When darkness surrounds you, remember His love lifts me up. When tears fall, trust there is one who will dry them. And when you doubt your worth, hold fast to this truth. I am the image of the eternal, precious, and worthy of a full life. You don't need to become someone else. You only need to return to who you truly are, the one I created for a single purpose, to love and be loved. Let that light come in, not with haste, but with a gentle daily commitment to be a little kinder, to listen a little longer, to forgive a little deeper, and to walk a little closer to me. Move forward, my child, not with perfection, but with an open heart, a heart that still feels for others, a heart that no longer hardens at the sound of an apology, a heart brave enough to believe tomorrow can be better than today. And yes, tomorrow will be better, if today you choose to live with love rather than from old habits. Every small act of love you do today, a kind word, unexpected patience, a tender gaze, is a seed you plant in your own future. And from those seeds you'll see a new spring blossom, not outside but within your soul that once broke and now is rising again. Do not be afraid. Do not look back. Just keep walking, even with small steps. And let each of those steps be guided by my gentle calling. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to be certain of it all. You just need enough faith to take the next step. Now, with an open heart and an unhidden sincerity, I bow before you, Father, and offer the deepest whispers of my soul. May my prayer not merely be sound, but the true voice of my heart flowing from the innermost depths of my spirit. Almighty God, the one who has loved me with an everlasting love today, I kneel before you with a heart softened after so much resistance. I do not come to you in perfection, but with wounds and sobs that are still unhealed. Please listen to me in the silence where words have run dry and only a quiet cry for help remains. Grant me the courage to release the past so I may no longer be imprisoned by memories I cannot change. Teach me to receive your grace as a child hungering for its mother's milk, without fear, without hesitation, only with a longing to be revived, renewed, and loved. Compassionate Father, the endless source of light in the shadows of my life, I have wandered far at times, believing there was no way back. But today, as I glimpse a ray of light piercing through the cracks in my heart, I know it is you still calling me home. Teach me humility, that I may recognize how much I need you. Soften my heart before the truth. Break the chains of sin I have bound around myself. I do not ask for an easy life, but I earnestly pray to walk with you through every hardship. O good Father, who created me with love and hope, I lay before you all that I can no longer carry, the pains I cannot name, the regrets I cannot return to mend. Please do not let me live trapped in remorse, but transform it into strength that helps me live more truthfully each day. Fill my heart with compassion so I may no longer shut it away. Grant me new eyes, eyes that see others through the lens of empathy, not judgment. Gentle and merciful God, I offer you the parts of my life I still do not understand, the tangled places that remain unclear. There are quiet fears that live in me, fear of not being good enough, fear of unworthiness, fear of abandonment. But Father, please shatter those illusions with your steadfast and tender presence. Remind me that I need not become someone else to be loved, only to return as I am with a heart turned back. Heal the places within me that ache with your love, and awaken the parts of me that have slumbered for far too long. God of hope of every new beginning, let me live each day as though it were the first time I encountered you. Let me see the wonder in the ordinary, so that when I behold a blooming flower, hear the call of a bird, or feel the wind brushing through my hair, I know you are nearer than ever. Help me live every moment fully, not merely pass through life, but truly touch it. And in all circumstances, remind me that hope remains, and it is always possible to begin again. Loving Father, I thank you for never abandoning me, even when I abandoned myself. I once lived as though you did not exist yet. You never turned away. I thank you for the light that still shines in my darkest places. Thank you that you do not require my perfection to love me, only my honesty. With every heartbeat, I give thanks for life, for forgiveness, and for the unfailing hope that flows from you. Holy Spirit, quiet and steady source of life, I thank you for never leaving me even when I could not feel your presence. Thank you for every small inspiration, every tenderness in the midst of the storm. It is you who remind me that peace does not come from outward things, but from a soul lit by truth and love. I am grateful that not a single day passes without you whispering to my spirit, Creator God, you are love, and the Spirit is life. I bow my head in gratitude to the Holy Trinity. Thank you, Father, for creating me in your image. Thank you, beloved Son, for giving yourself to save me. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for dwelling in me like breath. Without you, I am but dust. With you, I am light. Please accept this offering of thanks like incense rising from a small soul yet full of gratitude. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong community of faith.